Do you struggle when playing Gates of Hell? Well, I am here to remedy that. And as someone who's played this game since release, I feel it is my duty to help spread the knowledge and wisdom that I attained while playing this. What I'm doing here today is helping the population of people who love to play this game or want to pick up this game better understand basic simple infantry tactics, ways to flank an enemy, ways to lay suppressive fire, and I'm going to be going over literally everything I do. I'm going to be playing Trial by Fire tutorial number 5 because in my opinion, it is the best in terms of introducing new players to the game. I'm going to be playing on a hard difficulty with Fog of War turned on. So I'm going to go ahead and get started in here. This truck's going to drive. It's going to run over a mine. I've played this mission a handful of times. I'd say about 10, 15 different times. It's one of my favorite missions. Boom, hit a mine. Now I'm going to skip this cutscene, and you can skip loading cutscenes and in-game cutscenes by clicking the spacebar. Now it is going to give me control of a single rifleman. And how to select the rifleman, all you have to do is either A, just click on him, or let's say I had all these guys, right? Let's say this truck was still alive, and I had these guys, and I want to select all of them. I'll just left click and drag. Obviously, I don't have control of either of these units, so it's not going to pop up. Now, it's telling me I need to get into the inventory of this Opel Blitz right here. Now, how I'm going to do that is I'm going to click the X key, and I'm going to left click on the truck. If you want to access a single soldier's inventory, you click the I key, and it brings up the inventory of that soldier that you currently have equipped. Now, if I had multiple units, like if I had all these units right here, and I put them all into a squad, and I click X, and I open the inventory of the truck, I could right-click on this German shovel. You see how there's 20 of them? I could right-click on that. And while it's going to put all this in his inventory, if I had a squad of units, it would evenly distribute all of these shovels across the entire squad. Now, the game really badly wants me to grab one of these metal detectors. So one way to do that is to either drag and drop, or if there's a stack and you want to click and select the entire stack, let's say I wanted to use all 5 of these repair kits to go repair a different vehicle, I can right click on the stack and it will put all of the stack, if it fits, into the inventory of that soldier. As you saw with the shovels, it put in 8 shovels and left the other 13 because I ran out of inventory. Now, if I want to put these repair kits back, I could either A, drag them over one at a time, B, I could double left click on them, or C, I could right click them one single time and it will put them over and automatically stack them. So as you can see, I have the metal detector, or excuse me, mine detector in my inventory. So I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to click I, and I'm going to double click the mine detector. Now with the mine detector, you can see there is a radius around this infantryman. Any mine that falls into this radius will be detected and be automatically disabled. Once those mines are disabled, you can then freely go back and pick up those mines and use them in your own defense. Now, in terms of doing that, it is a little bit tedious. And I'm going to go ahead and start doing that objective now. To move the infantryman, what I'm doing is I'm clicking on the infantryman, and I'm clicking the E key so I can take direct control. And then I'm using WASD to walk around. Alternatively, you can just have him selected, and you can tell him to walk in a straight line by using right click. So he's going to locate all of these mines, and then we're going to be engaged, and one of these guys is going to die, and we're going to have to use the medic to revive him. So I'm going to skip this cutscene, and as you can see in the bottom left, if you see my cursor right here, in the bottom left, you will see the mine detector right here in the inventory, along with the grenade. One way to quickly unequip this is to left click the mine detector, and then you can click on their primary weapon. Alternatively, you can also do that in the inventory by double clicking and then double clicking again with left clicking. So now that I have control of the medic, I'm going to select the medic. As you can see, the medic has a radius. Any downed soldier in this radius will automatically be revived. Now, if you don't want your medic to go out and do that, you can go to the bottom right of the screen and click on these two gear icons right here called special options. You left click there. So this top left option, automatic revived, there's a keybind for it, but I usually just do it manually. You can click that off and it will turn it off, and now I can only manually set him to go revive people. Now, if you want an even bigger radius than this, you can go to place auto revive location. And what this does is if you click on the ground and hold with left click, you can now set a certain location that this medic will then go and revive anybody in. So if I shrink it down and I select right here, that medic will automatically run over to that soldier that is downed and revive him. If any of these guys were shot and in the bleeding state, such as this rifleman here, the medic would queue up and select one, revive them, and move on to the next until all soldiers are effectively treated. So remember, to skip cutscenes, we're just going to click space. As you can tell, 4 of these infantrymen have shovels. The medic does not. That is because, well, usually there's tent poles in here and a lot more bandages and more ammunition for the medic. But since it's a tutorial mission, I guess they don't get as many. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the squad. And I have my machine gun operator go over here. And then I'm looking down in this bar, and as you can see, the guy I'm hovering over, Volker Peters, is an MG support. You want to make sure you keep these two together. And when I say together, all you have to do is hold shift and left click on the machine gun operator, or you can simply just select them both like that. Another neat trick is if I want these two right here, but these 3 right here, I can combine these 2 here, and then if I hold shift and drag, it will add them all to one singular squad. The reason you want to make sure that these guys are together is because if I open the inventory of the MG operator, or the ammo bearer, he has extra rounds that he will share with that MG operator. Now, in terms of distance, I don't think there's a distance that you need to have between them. I just think they need to be in the same squad. But I'm going to set them in the same foxhole. We're going to dig some foxholes here. So how I'm doing that is I'm clicking on the infantry soldier. Down here, there's an option to dig small foxhole. I'm left clicking that. And then to position it, I am holding left click and then angling with my mouse. Now I want this to face this road, so I'm going to release left click and he will automatically go over there and start digging a foxhole. And then to get your guys to stand, I am clicking control. To go prone, control again. And if you want them to crouch, you click alt. Again, to go prone or stand, you click control. And to crouch, you click alt. This also works in first person as well. And in order to go into first or third person, you simply click T while in control of a unit. You click E to control the unit, and T to go into first and or third person. When you are in third person, you can get a better view of the battlefield. I usually use this when I'm defending with an AT gun or an artillery piece of any kind, or a tank. Because sometimes aiming through the sights, you can't see because there's foliage in the way, but if you go into the third person, you may not be able to see it, but your shell will still shoot through that foliage and effectively still hit the enemy tank. Because trust me, if you can't see them, they can almost certainly see you. So the way that enemy AI infantry work, and even just regular infantry in general, these are all technically AI since I am not directly controlling them. And how they work is if this guy right here, this guy just died, So we'll just use this guy over here. This guy right here, the one that's walking. If he sees this rifleman right here, every single one of these soldiers also sees that rifleman. So in terms of if there's a tank over here that doesn't see my, let's say I had an AT gun here, doesn't see my AT gun that I have here, but one of these riflemen over here has direct line of sight of that AT rifleman, it automatically shares this intelligence with that tank that originally had not seen it, and that tank will now be able to see my anti-tank piece. This is important to know when you're going to play some of the stealth missions and or try to flank some of the AI enemy positions. If you are seen by one infantry, you almost will certainly be seen by all of them, and you will now be the new focal point, because the AI usually, I'd say roughly about 85% of the time, engages whatever is close to them. So if you are closing in on a machine gun, and you're coming in from the side and you have no cover, if for whatever reason an enemy infantry sees you, whether that be because one of your guys started shooting, or you simply just got spotted, that machine gun will now likely turn to your infantry, and start targeting them. That'll be important later. As you can see, I have a casualty here. So I'm going to take this medic. I'm going to order him to go over here. I don't have any smoke grenades, which sucks. Normally, when selecting the medic, if you see right here, F1 is to throw a regular grenade, like anti-personnel. To throw an anti-tank is F2. F3 for smoke grenade. F4 for anti-tank. And you can also click F6, or just click on it on the bottom hotbar, and you can have him auto-shoot a specific location, and he will shoot that position until you click F and tell him to stop that. Now, as you can see, I'm going to have this medic turn back on his automatic revive. Now, when you turn on the automatic revive, the auto-revive location will disappear. So I'm going to get him about right there, and he should automatically go and revive that guy. I was going to show you with this guy, but I guess not. So I have another unit that's low on health. Okay, so this rifleman right here is taking a hit. You can either click F8 at the bottom of the screen here. You can either click F8, or you can just click on this little icon right here, left click it, and the entire squad will automatically start healing after that. I guess I shouldn't say automatically, since you manually did it. I'm going to get this guy in range, and then I click F to stop him, and as you can see, he is now automatically going to that infantryman to revive him. So we're going to let this kind of play out here. There's like one dude left, so I don't recommend doing this. I call this Ramboing. Basically, you just take one unit and you engage an enemy unit. But that guy was just kind of sitting there and not dying. And I need to progress. And it didn't let me get that guy back in cover, so I might actually lose my machine gun. Now this is where my tactic that I was talking about comes into play. So I will take this guy, have him go here. So as you can see, it's going to take roughly 3 or 4. There seems to be 3 infantry. It's going to keep them in an AI pool. And it's going to use those infantry to lay down suppressive fire on these 3 machine guns. Now, remember when I said that if one infantry sees you, they all see you. So we have to take the village by flanking and take out these machine gunners. Now, in order to take these guns out, I am going to grab my units. I'm going to walk them, or well, I guess I'm going to make them crawl over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my medic and have him go somewhere else. I am doing this because the medic always finds a way to get shot first. And if any of my guys die, I want my medic to be able to go and revive other units in the area. So since I am given 6 units here to work with, I'm going to heal that guy. And I'm going to take the MG support and the machine gun operator, MG operator. And sometimes some squads also have, on top of an MG operator and an MG support, they will also have an MG ammo bearer. And let's say this guy is him. We'll also take this guy. I'll say this guy right here is him. We'll also take this guy and throw him in there. This guy is just a simple rifleman though, so we have nothing to worry about. I am going to put these 3 in a squad and these 3 in a squad. So if you bring your attention to the bottom right of the screen, along with all the other options, you will see a firing mode. Fire at will means if there's an enemy in range, they will open fire regardless of where that enemy is, what you're doing. If you give them a simple left click, they will eventually stop and start engaging enemy targets. If you give them a if it should be a right click to move them, my bad. You give them a right click, they will stop and engage anything along the way. If you double click, this will make them stand, and it doesn't matter what's in their way, they will run until they get to that objective right there, and then they can start engaging targets. If you left click the firing mode once, they will now be on hold fire. And for absolutely no reason, I don't care if there's a dude holding a gun to their face, they will not shoot. For whatever reason, they will hold fire, and they will not shoot at anything. This is the one I use when I'm trying to flank enemy units, because for absolutely no reason should these guys be firing until I tell them to do so. The third option you can have, and I will get to why I don't use this, is return fire mode. So return fire means they are indeed holding their fire, but if for any reason these AI that control these units when I'm not directly controlling them, if for whatever reason that AI decides or deems that they are being fired at, they will automatically return fire. I've had scenarios where I had units right here and another guy right here or something like that, and this guy was spotted. These guys over here were not, and the enemy was firing, and just like is happening right here, how these bullets are being spaced out and spread out across the ground, one of them landed near these guys, and they just automatically started opening up on the machine gun, and the machine gun turned towards them and started shooting them. So anyway, I'm going to put all my squads on hold fire, and they are to fire unless I tell them to. Now I'm going to double right click, and they should stand up if they're listening. Sometimes I like to click 3 or 4 times just to make sure that it gets the message across. We're going to run up right along the edge. Like I said, hold fire. And then I'll have the medic follow closely behind. Another thing you also want to do is observe your terrain. As you can see, this machine gun cannot shoot past this hill. It's also got these barricades right here. Meaning if I come up on this left side right here, and I start engaging these infantry, this machine gun and this machine gun will not be able to engage me. But this machine gun more than likely will be able to. That being said, I'm going to... I'm just going to show you. I'm going to grab both these infantry squads. I'm going to make them run over here. As you can see, I am effectively behind... Well, not these guys. Okay, you should all be prone. I don't know why we're doing this. Okay. Third time's a charm. I am now behind this machine gun. This machine gun cannot shoot me because my guys are prone, and it's got that barricade to its right along with that hill. So I'm going to make my guys move over here to this little road. As you can see with line of sight, you can see that we have 2 infantry in this house right here. We also have another 2 infantry right here. So what I will do is I will split up my squad. And how I like to split up my squads is when I have one full infantry squad, I split them down the middle, as I showed. Then you can grab these units, you can right click, and if you hold right click and drag, you will now be able to space out units. I usually space them anywhere from about here to about here. And now they will try their best to keep that spacing while moving towards the objective. So if I click right, and hold it, and I start dragging, the arrow is the direction that they will be facing. So if I click right and go like this, they'll get to this position right here, and then they will turn around and go that way. But I want them to face this way. So now I will have them start moving over here. Now that I have these guys on the road, these guys are going to crawl over here, and they're going to focus on the guys in the house. And then these guys are going to focus on the two guys right here. These guys are on return fire. I don't remember putting them on that. Maybe I accidentally did. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys in position. So now they will automatically start engaging. The element of surprise is over. Well, it was technically over a little while ago, but for training purposes, we're going to pretend it never happened until just now. We're going to have these guys shoot that guy. We're going to move these guys forward. Clicking F, as you can see, the garrison of that house has now been killed, one inside, and the other one has left. So we are going to use these guys over here and start moving up on these positions to take out these machine guns. Now, if you deal with enemies up here on the left, as you can see, there's some tankmen here that should be crewing this tank and repairing it. But since they are here, one thing you can do, I suppose we could probably take these guys out, huh? So since this tutorial mission is a little forgiving, that's why I'm going so slow. We can take these guys right here, and we can make them face this direction to give covering fire to keep the remainder of the enemies that are over here occupied, while these three go and deal with the machine gun positions. I'm going to make these guys stand. These guys are going to give covering fire, keep these guys in cover and or kill them, while our guys move forward. Ooh, I need to get these guys to heal, actually. Oh, that's kind of bad news. He ran out of ammo. Okay, so we're going to move up here while we still can. We're going to tell them to engage. He's going to throw a grenade, which is fine. We need to get rid of the machine gun position anyway. One machine gun position dealt with. As you can see, there is... He's trying to melee him because he doesn't have any ammo. And then we have a guy go down. I don't know why they didn't engage that guy right there. I'll take direct control of this guy. I wish there was more ammo for these guys, because I used a lot of it when engaging these guys earlier. I'm going to aim at this guy over here. Ooh. There, we hit him. He's not dead though, sadly. He's standing back up, nice crouched. And now he's bringing out binoculars. Poor decision on his part. I'm going to click mouse 4, switch to the grenade. Then I'm going to hold and then throw. Oh, that's embarrassing. Usually that deals with the rest of them. I get my medic up here to come deal with this guy. Alternatively, you can go up to dead soldiers. And you can take their ammunition, their weapons, and equip your soldier pretty much however you want. So I'm going to take their ammunition because this guy's out of ammo. And a bandage, actually. And if I hold V, I can see the dead guys in the area, the guys that are down. If I hold C, I can see stuff you can search along with stuff to pick up. So I'm going to pick up this Mosin. That way my guy has a weapon he can use. I'm going to maneuver these guys over while getting rid of my medic so he doesn't die. We're going to have them jump over this. Alternatively to, if you have one singular guy. Oh, hang on, there's a guy coming. Whoa. Okay, so if you're in first person and you want to mantle, just simply go up to the wall or barricade you're trying to mantle, walk towards it, and click space, and your character will automatically hop over. That being said, if you have an ammunition type, let's say you have some grenades, space is also to select different types of grenades in your inventory. So let's say you have like an anti-personnel, an anti-tank, and a smoke grenade. To cycle through those, you would also click space. So keep that in mind. If you have it in your hand at that moment, you click space, it's going to cycle towards the next available grenade type. That being said, we're going to get these guys to go up. They're going to come over here. We're going to have them engage them and finish off the machine guns. Now that all the machine guns are dead, we're going to finish clearing the village. Do note that it does not show all of the dead bodies. Some of them will despawn to help keep game performance down. Or, sorry, to help better game performance. So now, that being said, I'm going to have these guys prone, and they're going to walk over there. Also, if you have a squad lead, it chooses one random soldier in your squad to be a squad lead, regardless of where the troops are. If this guy's over here, squad lead's right here in the center, and this guy's over here, the guys furthest away from the squad lead will run to the squad lead before running to their objective. So let's say I had a guy right here, the squad lead here near the house, and another guy right here, and I wanted him to move here. Instead of this guy going by himself over to the position I told him to go to, he will then first go to the squad lead, and then turn around with the squad lead and run back over to the objective I told them to push towards. We're going to have these guys start pushing down this way here. As you can see, we got these guys dug in here, but that's no worry because I have a grenade. As you can see, they're stopping. I just gave them a simple move order, so they will stop and engage enemies that are engaging them. Usually, if you have smokes, it's great to use smoke grenades. Just remember that white phosphorus smoke grenades exist, and those will light a fire. So if you're trying to throw a smoke grenade on top of a body to go revive them, make sure it's not white phosphorus, because I've had many a times I have thrown a grenade, or excuse me, a white phosphorus smoke grenade, and it has landed on top of my guy, just completely eliminated him. Okay, so now we have to service the abandoned armored vehicle. Now to repair this damaged vehicle, I'm just going to select an infantryman here. If you hold shift and click R, it'll bring up a repair icon. Obviously you can't repair the ground, so anywhere else you aim, it will not be able to repair. It'll just have a little red X near your cursor. But if you hover over this tank, it has a little repair icon. So this will have your troop go into an area, and I'm not exactly sure the radius of that area, but your troop or infantryman will go to nearby vehicles and or crates and try and find maintenance supplies and or like a toolbox to fix this. Now, he doesn't physically go up to every single box and check them. The AI just kind of knows, okay, in this inventory over here, there's a toolbox, so I'm going to go grab it. So if I right click here and then I open the inventory, as you can see, there is 5 repair kits. I put all 5 repair kits in here, and then I run over to these crates right here and I open them. What happened to the rest? Okay. And then I put all of these in here, right? I now bring him over here. If I click shift and hold, or sorry, if I hold shift and click R, it'll bring up the repair icon. Left click that. It is a very small window apparently. Maybe if I'm a little closer. Okay. Well, he's not doing it, but I've had many cases, if it's close enough, they will go to that. They will go to that nearby vehicle and or crate. Maybe they can't access crates. Maybe it's just other vehicles. But I've seen them go up to other vehicles and take mechanic kits out of there, like nearby vehicles, and use them to repair. But maybe it's just a tutorial. I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe they just can't alone by themselves access these crates. So I'm just going to have him repair. And if you want to see the state of a damaged vehicle that isn't your own, if it's not hull broken, now hull broken does not allow any form of infantry, tank crew, engineer, doesn't matter. It's not going to allow any crew of any sorts. You have to repair the hull. In this case, it's just the track. So, or tracks actually, it's that one too. But if you want to see the damage state of an enemy vehicle, you can go ahead and launch a guy in there, and as you can see, we have a damaged turret and 2 damaged tracks. So I'm going to grab an additional rifleman or 2. I'm going to have them go over and help assist in the repair of the tank. So if there's 3 damaged components, and I have 3 different riflemen with repair kits working on the tank, it will repair 3 of the damaged components. Now, when you're going to repair a vehicle, the best 2 options to repair any sort of vehicle is either A, any sort of engineer, which these guys are not. These are standard riflemen. They repair, so engineers repair at 1 time speed. And tank crewmen also repair vehicles at 1 time speed, whereas anything else, like riflemen, only repairs at 0.5 times speed, meaning they will not repair as fast. This might be sped up since it is a tutorial mission, but in any other mission, and definitely including Conquest, riflemen are not good at maintenance. It doesn't matter how much maintenance you make them do, they will always, if I'm not mistaken, they will always be the same at repairing vehicles. It is always better to have an engineer and or a tank crew repair a vehicle. So now that this vehicle is repaired, I can hover over the tank. And now it's not going to show it, but roughly in this area right here, you saw that little pop-up window. Wait for that pop-up when I hover over. So as you can see, it gives a basic layout of the tank. It's a BT-7, 45mm gun. Its range is 160 meters with its current ammo that it's using. It's got a machine gun, its hull armor, turret armor, and its crew. Now its crew is something important. As you can see, there's the number 3 there, and in parentheses, there is the number 7. The crew is always the first number. So it takes 3 men to crew this. But then it tells you in parentheses that it can hold a total of 7. So if I get the crew on here, excuse me, I accidentally selected the tank itself. Oh, I already have a guy in there, excuse me. I forgot about that. So if I take these 2 guys and I put them in here, is that the MG? No, okay. Wanted to make sure. MG guys still here? Okay, making sure. So if I have crew get into this BT-7 here, now it is full. I cannot have any more crewmen assist this tank. But what I can do is I can then grab additional infantry units, and they will then climb onto the tank, and they can ride the tank into battle. As you can see, I now have maximum occupancy. I have 4 on the exterior, 3 on the inside, meaning I have 7 units. To get them off, you can either click the G key, or you can go down here to the bottom and click Unload Crew. And then you can delicately left-click anywhere on the map, and it'll make them get off the tank. Make sure you single left-click it, because I've had a few times, and I don't know if they fixed this yet, but I've had a few times where I was trying to get them off really fast, and I double-clicked, and it made the crew get out as well. Like the crew of the tank, it made them get out as well. I'm not sure if that was a bug or what entirely, but just to be sure, just give it 1 click. So now that we have this tank, we're going to take the tank, we're going to drive towards here. As you can see, we have almost no ammo. We're just going to get a little close. Then we're going to right click on here. And as you can see, for 45 mil, we have 150 different rounds to choose from. Now, armor piercing, high explosive, ballistic cap is an armor penetrator that's not the most penetrative power, but when it penetrates a tank, it has a little explosion inside. As you can see, for armor piercing, high explosive. The ballistic cap, if I recall correctly, I have to look up what the ballistic cap does again. I think the ballistic cap shatters upon impact, if I recall correctly. But that also could be Armor-piercing composite rigid. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it because I obviously don't have it down. You got your standard armor-piercing round, which is orange. Orange will always be your standard armor-piercing round. Now, if you want armor-piercing composite rigid, something that does more penetrative power, that will always be in green. If you want a heat shell, that will be like, and there's no heat shells in here, but that'll be in like a purplish text color. And then for high explosive, that will always be in a red color. Stay labeled as high explosive. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and right click all these in here. Like I said, you can alternatively, maybe not. Okay. So I guess you can't drag and drop. You can only drag and drop stacks for vehicles. But if you were an infantryman, you could drag individual one. That being said, there's nothing left in here. What else does it want me to do? So if I click off the tank, look over at the bottom left. You can either click the key to show objectives. So you can click O. Or you can click on this little check mark here. Left clicking on that, you can now see the entirety of the objectives here. So now that I have resupplied this tank, it wants me to drive this way, where there are more enemy infantry in these areas here. And I believe there might even be some over here. I have to drive them out of the town using the remaining forces that I have been given. Now, if I look at this tank, as you can see in the stats right here, as I showed earlier, you can select a shell type just by clicking on this. If there's multiple different types of machine guns, you can select which one here. But also above that, you can see, above the shell type, you can see your speed, the current speed you are going, and the remaining fuel the vehicle needs. As you can see, I only have 47 liters. Now, I don't want to drive over here and get engaged. I'm pretty sure I should be fine. But I'm going to go ahead and just send a lonely little rifleman over to go capture this fuel truck that is conveniently left here for me to go refuel my BT-7. Take this truck. We'll go ahead and drive it. Now, when I'm driving regular trucks, see, that's exactly why I didn't want to drive that BT-5 or BT-7 over there. Just simply driving right here, I got hit by an AT gun. Now I have to repair this truck because it has been hull broken. When something is hull broken, it does not necessarily mean that the vehicle is a loss. What it does mean is that any remaining troops that survived the initial attack are then forcefully ejected from the vehicle, and the vehicle can still be repaired. With that being said, it's not always salvageable. And when I say that, sometimes you can tell when your vehicle gets hull broke because it'll do like a weird shake. You could definitely see it when I was shot there, but it'll do like a little shake on the vehicle and lower it closer to the ground, tilt it one direction or the other. But sometimes the AI does not register that you have been taken out. So they will fire additional rounds, either A, trying to finish off your infantry that just hopped out, or just shooting at the vehicle in general. And that second or third round might just take out the vehicle completely. I'm actually kind of glad that that happened. But I think I'm still in range, so I think I might get shot again the moment I get back into this truck, I won't lie. But I'm going to try not to. As you can see, I can't just drive my tank over here willy-nilly because there is an AT gun up there. I'm pretty sure it's a 45mm AT gun as well. So it definitely packs a punch. As you can see, the vehicle raised up. It is no longer hull broke. When it is hull broke, it will kind of do a little shake and shimmy and hunker down to the ground. I'm going to try and get back in here. Drive quickly. Hopefully I don't get shot again. And it looks like I have been freed. I'm actually going to go in through the side here, because I don't want to risk getting shot again. Mostly because this BT-7 needs some fuel. I'm going to get some fuel. We're going to go ahead and refuel the tank. As you can see, the tank has been refueled. It'll automatically take out from here. And if we click on the fuel truck, it'll show its current amount of fuel for this truck. And the only way to refuel this truck is, believe it or not, either A, you can go into the inventory. I gotta stop saying that. You can go into the inventory, and sometimes there's a little gas canister. I don't know if it's in here. Okay, there's this little gas canister. You can take this jerry can with one of your infantry. Go ahead and do it now. You can take this and then open their inventory. You can double click the can, and then you can click on, if you right click, yes, right click, it'll dump the contents of that can into that vehicle. As you can see, it is now at 100. If you want to refill a can, you can then click on the vehicle again with the can in hand if it's not full and it's out of a vehicle. I believe you can actually, yeah, you can take it out of any vehicle, actually. You can siphon it out. So I could even take fuel out of here if I wanted to. But I can go up here, and the infantry will automatically, when right-clicking, take fuel from that vehicle. As you can see, for whatever reason, it didn't take it from, like, the actual truck itself. It took it from the... it didn't take it from the fuel reserve in the back. It took it from the truck itself. But regardless, that's just a little quick tip if you find yourself needing to refill a vehicle and not having the ability to go find a fuel truck. Sometimes if you find a vehicle, you can just go siphon some fuel from some other various vehicles and then supply them that way. Now, that being said, I do not have a lot of options here. I am currently left with only 3 usable units. So what I'm going to do... Oh, excuse me, I actually have 4 usable units. I'm going to have these units run over here. I'm going to have my medic over here. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this next part is going to go. And a lot of people kind of go against this. But if you're a new player, especially a brand new player, I recommend safe scumming. Safe scumming is basically meaning you save the game at any point in time. Just click save. And then if you lose too many units or you don't like the way that's going out, you can just click load and it'll be the most recent at the top of the list. I have created a save. So let's say I lose 3 of these guys and they're just gone completely. And I still haven't taken out anti-tank guns. I might go ahead and save scum and come back. So we're going to use these guys. We're going to put them all in one squad. I'm going to have them all hold fire. I'll take these riflemen, actually. And we'll separate them. How much ammo does he have? Okay, he's good on ammo. This guy needs ammo. This guy needs ammo. Okay, I'm glad I noticed that now. I'm going to take these guys. We are going to... Eesh, is there anything left? Okay, yeah, there's some guys over here. I'm going to have them go over here. Grab some ammo from these guys. Okay, so as you can see, I have decided to arm my medic and get an extra guy out of it. I have equipped him with a pistol from our generous machine gunner, and I have equipped our machine gunner with a additional rifle as well. I'm going to select these squads, and now I have makeshift squads. You gotta make do with what you can. I'm actually going to save again because I don't want to have to do that over again. So I'm going to click save, say saved, and it'll bring you automatically back. That's how you know the save worked. It'll automatically bring back to the game menu. You just click out of that. So we're going to have these guys go over here. And then right when they get to the ridge line, I'm going to have them drop. They're going to crawl. This might be a bad idea. They might get seen. As soon as he gets over, I'm going to drop him. I'm actually going to have these guys go over here. And we'll have these guys go over here. And I have them all on do not fire. We're going to keep our tank in reserve until we get that anti-tank taken care of. Now I'm going to go and try and find that anti-tank. So now that I know there is an anti-tank unit here, I kind of already knew that from experience, but I'm going to pretend I didn't know that to act like I'm in your shoes. Also, be aware that if infantry cross water, they will stand up. I forgot to mention that. So, anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to observe the area. I'm going to look around. What do I see? I obviously see this infantryman sitting in this church here. I'm going to look for dangers to my tank. I'm going to look for anti-tank guns. And then when I find them, I'm going to eliminate them. That being said, as you can see, we have infantry moving on our squad here. So I'm actually going to have these guys move back. Because if these, I have 2, and I mean just numbers game right now. They have 6 along with a, yep, here's one field gun right here, one anti-tank gun. 45mm, I was right. So they have numbers. So since they have numbers, I'm going to treat my guys back, make them go prone, give them some cover and concealment. And I'm actually going to crawl up to the right of this anti-tank gun, so that way I can suppress infantry and not be taken out by its cannon fire. Oop, might have gone a little too late because it seems these guys have been spotted. I'm actually going to have these guys get up and run. It's kind of a risky move. I wouldn't recommend doing this, but I really don't want to get hit by that tank gun. So I'm going to have him go prone right here, and we'll have him back up and go that way. And I will take off that and make it so they can return fire. This guy needs to heal. And again, to stop their movement, let's say you accidentally click, like somewhere you right click, just click the F key, and it will automatically stop their movement, whatever they're doing. So now that they are engaging those guys, I will now take these guys off. I'll have them move up over here. Oop, actually I won't, because there's infantry engaging them. So I'll have them move up to the right of this house right here. We have a tank coming in. So now that we have a tank coming in, we know the location of the anti-tank gun. I'm going to rotate my tank. I'm going to try not to blow up that. I'll actually drive up and around, and hopefully that house will cover me, and I will not get hit by that anti-tank gun. And I will be able to provide covering fire for my units. I really hope that grenade is going towards them. Okay. So I'm actually going to have these guys start crawling back down here. We actually have a smoke grenade, so I will throw a smoke grenade to cover them. As you can see, that anti-tank sees my tank. I don't know why he switched off. As you can see, I will go into third person with it. And I will locate this guy here. And we'll go ahead and fire at him. He's still going to move. I don't have a direct line of sight of him. But on the bright side here, I might be able to get a cheeky shot off. Maybe not. I'm still going to try. I got about 50 rounds here, and they don't have a cannon because I have hit their turret. Initially, I was going to have them retreat. I'll actually have these guys retreat still. A little disconcerting. Have them get behind some smoke here. Get in this little divot. As you can see, it divots down right here. It's like a little pair of cover. So to get them in this cover, I'm going to drag and have it go right here. I'll have them heal. That tank is still mobile though. So what I want to do is actually these guys to move back. I'm actually going to push up. Seems they repaired the turret. Get up here. I'm gonna go to third person. We're gonna go ahead and put a round in the side of that tank. For good measure, we'll go ahead and do another round. I'm gonna back up. Ooh, as you can see, it shot me through a window, but it ricocheted, so I got lucky. So that is why you have to be very cautious. That is what I was telling you. Once one unit sees your tank, every unit sees your tank. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys back up here, out of range of that anti-tank gun. And we're gonna start pushing this way. Have these guys, they're doing pretty decent over here. So now that I'm in a divot, I can now take control of this tank and start providing support for my infantry using HE. I'll make some holes in that fence. I don't know where that other guy's at. Is he in the house? Oh, he is. I'll be damned. I don't know if I can... Yeah, I don't think the caliber is big enough to shoot through the house. If you have a big enough caliber, you can destroy buildings with it. So I'll have these guys go right here. And we'll get a grenade thrown right there. As you can see, the anti-tank gun is now dealt with. I can then move up my tank. And I'm going to keep going. Past over here. Oh, I guess there isn't any enemies over there. But as you can see, I was outnumbered. But sheer tactics alone and outwitting my enemy, granted it is AI, not very good, on a hard difficulty, I was able to counter the AI and take out the remaining forces. And now we have reinforcements, we have additional infantry. Now that I have this anti-tank gun, I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm not setting it up here. I will show you where to set up your anti-tank guns. Keep him as one squad. Select all these guys. Keep him as one squad. And I'm going to go ahead and use my unit, my tank. As you can see, they are falling right into the trap. Now they're deploying their infantry. And we'll be able to see what tactic worked. So we definitely had one hit of mine. Now they have an option to go here, or they can go through here. Infantry is now stepping on the AP mines. They are not allowed to go through here. Seems the border actually backed up a little bit, which kind of sucks. That's the only problem with placing mines super close together, is if the tank is driving fast enough, it will actually engage multiple tank mines at once. So, in this aspect, I kept them close together just because I just had so many of them. But in reality, since I know that the enemy mostly spawns here, I kind of kept them condensed in this little area. The majority of the time, you want to spread them out. As you can see, most of the convoy has been dealt with by just mines alone. Not really hearing any infantry. That's another thing you can hear. You turn up my audio. I'm not really hearing any. Oh. There's a truck in here. That is another thing you can do. If you cannot see them, you can most certainly hear them. I think there's a truck stuck over here. So I'm actually going to take my tank. I'm going to... There's some hits going on over there. I don't know if they're stuck or what. Okay, so we actually got a truck here. And the truck is abandoned. So that is the truck we were hearing. So they're actually going to get in the truck, I think. Another thing you can do, since I don't want these guys wasting their ammunition, I'm actually going to change them back to armor piercing. And then if you go to the bottom right, you'll find an option with the little ammo icon. And it's got 2 arrows in a circle. That's ammo switching. And you can click on that and lock it. And whatever ammo you have selected, and I can still select other types of ammo manually, but whatever ammo you have selected will remain in that. So the AI is programmed with AT ammunition types. AKA anti-tank ammunition types. They are trained, or programmed, excuse me, to not engage infantry with those. So if you have those selected, they will ignore infantry and solely go after vehicles. I'm actually going to push forward a little bit because I kind of want to see. Also, I don't think you're affected by your own mines. And now I'm running over mines right now. Okay. So as you can see, we have some units here. I don't know what he's doing. That's why I hate line of sight in this game. It is super annoying. Yeah, I tried. Ooh, there's an infantryman right there. Be very wary, because soloing a infantryman can lead to your certain demise if you are not paying attention. And as you can see, we have lost 1 vehicle, which was just the... What do you call it? The fuel truck. Yeah, the fuel truck. And we only lost 8 men compared to their 5 vehicles and 90 men. Remember, yes, it is a tutorial mission. It is going to be a little easier, but I also was playing this unharmed. And at any point, I could have fallen through. So with that being said, I hope you learned something today. I plan on making more of these. The editing process is going to be kind of a pain in the ass because I'm not going to lie, I'm not very good at editing. So I'm going to try and condense this down into a smaller video. So I'm probably going to end up leaving out a lot of tips. In which case, I will have to recover those tips in another video. I'm going to try and get this last little infantry guy here, because he's just going to run away from me. There we go. We took enough prisoners today. We don't need any more. That being said, thank you to those of you who watched the video. I hope you guys found some help in this video. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't even need to set up the rest of these defenses because those AP mines and anti-tank mines just kind of handled everything. I mean, you place those mines strategically enough. If they don't have enough units, you most certainly take care of everything else. Sorry, I got off track again. Alright, I'm done. I'm going to go look over in the corner here. With that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to help some of you kind of better understand the game. Kind of let you know how my brain works when I play this game, okay? How am I going to flank this machine gun? How am I going to take out this tank? You know, how am I going to take out this anti-tank gun? You know, as you can see, when I was taking out the anti-tank gun, I found a way to flank around it and get into a position where it could not shoot me. And then once it was taken out, I was then able to push my tank forward and use it to finish the assault. I kind of wish there was more units to show you because it gets a little more high intense when there's a lot more units. Obviously, this is a training mission, so they don't overload you too much because they don't want you to lose a lot of units. I'm hoping that you guys were able to take something great away from this video and learn to love this game more, because I know a lot of people struggle, and when people struggle with something, it's not fun. It's not very fun for many people. A lot of people love to struggle because a struggle means they're learning, and which is great and all, because I'm the same way as the latter, I guess you should say. I don't like struggle. It is like a pain in the ass. If I struggle with something, it makes me want to do it less. So with this game, I definitely took a lot of breaks because for whatever reason I was struggling. And in those times, I really wish I had somebody making videos that just kind of walked me through like strategies. And I'm not saying they don't exist. Granted, I won't lie, I wasn't exactly looking for them. But even if there's 10 videos out there, hey, what's 11, you know? Who cares how many videos are out there, explaining infantry tactics and how to better use them in this game. If there's an 11th out there and there's an 11th chance that somebody who's new to this game can see that video and hopefully be better at the game, like not be better, sorry, excuse me, get better at the game by watching that video, then so be it. I'll add it. I'll throw it out there. I don't care if it gets 11 views or if it gets 2,000 views. At the end of the day, I'm here to help new players understand how to play this game more efficiently and, most importantly, to have fun while doing so. With that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a good one. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I can't stress that enough. That being said, consider leaving a subscription if you did enjoy the video and would like to see more. I plan on doing a multi-part series with this. So, yeah. Have a good day.